All right, in other news, it's a Christmas miracle. The radio started working in this thing. So we got the little guy keeping her running. We're gonna let her warm up a little bit. I think I'll drive it in though. I really think I will. We're gonna let her warm up. We need to change oil and make sure it's got oil in the 4-speed and the rear end and look it over and all that stuff and so on. And see about some traction bars. I'll have to go down and dig around in my stash, you know. I'll give you a little once over for any possible new viewers. The 72 Firebird is slower than heck. I took it down the tail of the Dragon in 2016. It's got ET mags, 343 gear, 4-speed. A little guy behind the wheel. And a 400 with number 12 head. And that ticking noise, I think, is that AC compressor. Started doing that. Anyway, quadrajet carburetor. We're gonna pull it in and do a little maintenance on it. All right, we got her up on the lift. I drained oil. I looked around. Luckily, I had an oil filter right next to my Elvis 8-track. Never know when you might need one of them, right? I also just noticed I got another camera just like the one I got in my hand, and I had it up here doing something. Anyways, I'm getting confused about which one I'm using, so some of it's on that camera and some of it's on this camera. It's not too smart. Alright, you don't want to hear about my problems. I'll get a light here in a little bit and show you what's up under the car. Hear that? That's Mrs. Heavy Chevy coming back finally. Oh my gosh, you got a little chip. It needs a greasing, and I'll show you more as soon as I get a light. Alright, I'll give you a little tour of what's up under here. That's just a factory sway bar off a WS6 Trans Am. You see right up in there. It's got Hotchkiss springs. It's got Bilstein shocks. I forgot who made those, but they're those polyurethane tie rod connectors. Got those bushings there too. It's just stock brakes, which seem to be fine. I did weld some stiffeners right there on the lower control arms. You can see them a little better there. It's got headers on it. She's starting to leak some oil. Looks like the rear main might be leaking a little. That right there is from where I took the oil filter off. I noticed right here is a little spot of rust, so I smeared some oil on it. Don't look like the cross member is going to rust out anytime soon, or the exhaust pipe. I wouldn't doubt. It sure looks like it's leaking on the shift shafts right there on that transmission. So I'm going to check the oil in it. Look there, I painted the drive shaft. This is a nice car. It's in really nice shape. I'll show you the back. It's got aluminum solid body bushings, welded in subframe connectors. Looks like I scraped a speed bumper too. Those are thrush mufflers. And the exhaust system is one of those Summit kits. That way, I like those. They fit good. It's 2.5 inch. They just terminate right there. Bilstein shocks. I was gonna put traction bars on it, but if I do that, I ain't gonna be able to pick it up with my lift. Maybe I won't bother. Factory 10-bolt rear. It's the bigger ring gear though. Posi 343. It's taking some abuse. Looks like it's leaking a little bit there at the weld. The rosette weld, I think they call that. Look at there, it's even still got the limited slip oil only tag. That's from when that little dink is from when the hanger in the back came off a couple times. Booger to get to is up in there. Oh, and it's a Saginaw 4-speed. I took out of an Astro van, 1985 with a 4-cylinder. I bought it pull apart for like 50 bucks or something. I had to change the input shaft from so it fit the bigger clutch. But bolted right in there and it's held up fine. You know, it wasn't abused, it wasn't hurt running behind a 4-cylinder. So that, and by the way, it came, the factory shifter is a Hirsch shifter and an Astro van with a 4-cylinder. Little tidbit there if you ever run across one of those. Everybody says Saginaw is junk, but it's held up behind that 400 here for a while. I have broke 2. One was, my brother did it. He didn't have it quite in gear and dumped the clutch and took some teeth off. And another one, she just came apart big time. I think it was about wore out anyways. But this one's been fine. If it ever gives up, we'll put a Muncie in it. Alright, I'm going to quit yakking, get it greased up, check the oil in the transmission, and go from there. I did rebuild, I had to make that piece when I redid this car. It was rusted out pretty good right there. Then they all do that. And let's see, not this side. I did not put a quarter on this side, but I did do a partial on that side. I think I cut it something like through there and up and around. But the car wasn't bad, rusty. It was rusty, but not bad. I didn't have to do nothing through here as I recall. That ding right there happened on video when the little guy was real little. He dropped something up against it. But hey, she's dirty and she's oily under there, but I ain't ashamed. I drive it. I've even raced it a little bit. Here's some videos of that. It's slow, slower than heck. She handles good though. Ain't really that slow. It just wheel hop like crazy. Ooh, we got a dent right here. Oh, well, I better quit looking. Alright, pick it up. Alright, set her down. Alright, I checked the oil in the transmission and it shocked me, as wet as it was, that thing's still full of oil. Clean, pretty oil, which is an excellent sign. So we greased the front end. I didn't need to film that. Everybody's done that, I think. And now we're going to fill her up with oil. And then we're going to have to call her a day. Because we got to go cut some firewood. You wouldn't think we need it as hot as it is today. It's like 70 out there in December. But we're going to need it sooner or later. Alright, we fired her up. No leaks, or at least not any big ones. And it built oil pressure, so I think we're going to call her good. Appreciate y'all watching. If you like these videos, hit the thumbs up. Subscribe. Tell all your friends. And join us. I usually put up 2 videos a week. And well, some people say they're boring as can be, and some people like them. So if you subscribe, you can decide for yourself. Also, don't forget to go to MrHeavyChevy.com where we can hook you up with a cool t-shirt or something like that. Alright, thanks for watching, y'all.